Dater gets a taste of independence as Rowan descends even more. In this week's episode of Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches, Rowan must decide whether to confront the evil she senses inside herself as Cyprian's investigation becomes more visible. Meanwhile, Lasher awaits his opportunity to attack the journey through the woods. In 1681, Susan and her sister Florrie searched for herbs in the woods to aid their healer mother, who a man is pursuing. Susan recognizes him and sends her sister away in terror. Before continuing, please subscribe to our channel, TV Recap, and click on the bell icon button for more videos on time. A flock of crows flies away throughout the performance as she pleases him to get into for sexual rejuvenation. Lasher appears to date her in her drug state to inform her that he has located her daughter Rowan. She wants to visit her, but Lasher tells her that the only way to do so is for her to awaken. Her body in the actual world begins to cry as she begins to recover awareness, much to Delphine's distress. Lasher consents a state or waking up, but it's not happening quickly enough. He gently reminds her that even when she was forced to undergo shock therapy, she could locate him by saying the phrases her mother had given her. He encourages her to recall, and she does, waking up with a start. The doctor, who has been covertly discarding the sedatives, advises her to be patient and promises to bring a legal friend to assist or free the family. Veda respects his efforts, but she understands they don't have weeks to plan. She investigates her room alone and discovers her Lasher jewelry. He comes to her as she puts it on and promises her that he will give her the fortitude to leave the house. He also informs her that he is accompanying Rowan to New Orleans. Dater allows her other wants to surface as she and Lasher have sex for the first time in years, free for the first time in years with her demon lover now in corporeal form. Again, Rowan experiences all of Dater's sensations. In a terrifying psychic moment, Delphine overheard Dater's demon tryst and discovered she wasn't being very covered. She discreetly compares brushing Dater's hair to the day they had to remove a swarm of rabid raccoons out of the cellar. She does not betray Dater and continues to act as though she cares for her, even allowing her to flee. When the others depart to attend an event, Dater rushes to her uncle Cortland, who pretends to be relieved at her homecoming. While apologizing for doing nothing and allowing her to rot along the street for 30 years, he asks hesitantly where he is after noticing her jewelry. Despite their relationship, Dater claims she never knows where Lasher is. She also informs him about Rowan, much to his surprise. Using her Lasher link, she projects him inside Rowan's hotel room to find out where she is. When he reaches for Rowan while she is showering, Dater pulls him away. Via their bond, he sees the name of her New Orleans hotel before blinking out of existence. She smiles as Cortland offers to have his driver transport her to the hotel. The hotel is the same one where Carla is staying for a luncheon. She can feel Dagger's presence as soon as she walks in. Carlotta grabs her and attempts to drag her away, but Dad cuts her off with, "You understand that if I'm awake now, so is he." Carla grabs her neck in panic as she hurries upstairs to locate Rowan. I can't lie to myself. When the episode begins, Rowan phones her adoption agency and is surprised to learn that it has only been in operation since the mid-1990s after her birth. Worse, the woman on the phone had never heard from her despite Ellie's assurances that she was seeking her biological parents. To make matters worse, she is being pursued by an unknown black car. She hears voices beckoning her while she drinks to numb the agony. She discovers that she has been removed from the surgical rotation schedule. Dr. Keck is concerned about her mental health following her mother's death and wants her to consult a psychiatrist before returning to work. She lies through her teeth about her situation, believing that employment keeps her grounded. At first, everything looks to work, but the doctor inquires about Daniel Lumley's death. It's intended well, but the doctor suffers from a migraine. Rowan realizes what's going on and flees before she can damage her. Her automobile is coated with bird droppings. When she gets there, even more ominously, a flock of birds flees while one dies and lands on her car. She attempts to bury the crow at a nearby beach and collapses in weariness. Suddenly, she finds herself in a hyperreal dream, dressed beautifully and standing in front of the Mayfair mansion. Ellie shouts to her, and she attempts to follow but falls short. Meanwhile, Cyprian takes advantage of the situation to break into Rowan's yacht. Rowan's anguish and how badly she's been doing since losing her mother caused him to respond emotionally to everything he touches. As Rowan leaves the hospital, he arrives at the parking lot and follows her to the beach. He contacts his superiors and advises informing her who she truly is, pointing out that he was lost when he first found his talents. However, his employer points out that if Rowan discovers the truth, she will rush to New Orleans, which is the reverse of what they are. Rowan's mother wants Rowan awakens on the beach as a rager erupts around her. As she walks to her car, she recognizes Cyprian and accuses him of following her. He attempts to comfort her, but he falls when he stretches out his hand to touch her. She does CPR and returns him to the EMTs. The house that made me as they take him away. She snatches his phone and finds a photo of Ellie with another young lady in front of the Mayfair mansion in 1990, with New Orleans as the caption. It's Dater, albeit she hasn't realized it yet. She follows the ambulance to the hospital, suddenly understanding that this stalker may have some of the answers she seeks. Cyprian is well gone by the time she arrives, taking the first trip to New Orleans. She pieces together Dater's identity as her biological mother, using images from Cyprian's phone, albeit she still doesn't know her name. She notices Lasher in the image backdrop. Rowan feels strangely pulled to him, but he puts down the phone. She senses her mother and Lasher having sex while sleeping and has a bodily reaction. Rowan returns to her hotel in the morning, unsettled by her bizarre sex fantasy the night before. While checking in, she overhears a woman discussing how hotels are haunted. Rowan approaches the woman in the photo for information on the property. It turns out she's a tour guide. Rowan learns that the Mayfair home was once on her haunted tour of the city until the family paid to remove it. She offers to show Rowan the mansion on time that night, explaining that it's famed for its witches. Cyprian contacts Rowan, pleading with her to stay in the hotel, where she will be secure. As he offers more details about his talent, he reassures her that he understands what she's going through. She agrees to meet him in the lobby and takes the elevator down. The doors swing open, revealing Dater. Rowan had a brief moment of joy, exclaiming joyfully, "It's you." Dater falls, her neck sliced before she can enjoy seeing her mother. Thanks for watching. And if we're new to the channel, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on the latest videos of Media TV Recap.